First at noon, President Trump's latest deadline for Russia to reach a ceasefire deal with Ukraine is getting mixed reviews, even from his own party. Erica Brown has the latest from Capitol Hill.
President Trump arrived in Pittsburgh Tuesday afternoon for an energy and innovation summit, unveiling a $90 billion private sector investment in Pennsylvania to expand its energy and AI capabilities.
Today's commitments are ensuring that the future is going to be designed, built, and made right here in Pennsylvania and right here in Pittsburgh, and I have to say right here in the United States of America.
Before he left, the president discussed his new ultimatum for Russia if a peace deal to end the war with Ukraine is not reached within the next 7 weeks. The president has threatened to impose 100% tariffs on countries that buy oil and gas from Russia, including China and Brazil.
Well, at the end of 50 days, if we don't have a deal, it's going to be too bad.
The president also pushed back against a report that he privately encouraged Ukraine to step up strikes launched in Russian territory, allegedly asking President Volodymyr Zelensky if Ukraine could hit Moscow.
No, he shouldn't target Moscow.
The president's ultimatum is being met with some skepticism from his own party, with some Republican senators concerned about how both Russian President Vladimir Putin and China will respond.
The 50-day delay worries me, and that Putin would try to use the 50 days to win the war.
You have a 30% tariff, and then you add to it a 100% tariff. What do you think that means? No trade with China.
Russia rejected President Trump's ultimatum, calling it unacceptable, pushing for continued negotiations instead, and said its invasion will continue until Moscow achieves its goals. Erica Brown, CBS News, Capitol Hill.
New developments here at home for the man accused of trying to run over another man outside a Pearl City bar. He was originally arrested for attempted murder, but he's now been charged with terroristic threatening. 33-year-old Jordan Magpali was arrested near the scene Saturday night. Police say he's the man shown in the video accelerating as he drives toward the other man, who jumps on the hood to avoid being hit. Now, police say Magpali then reversed his car, hitting multiple vehicles, which caused the victim to fall and get pinned between them. The victim, who works at the bar, sustained minor injuries. Magpali's bail is set at $20,000. Police arrested an armed man who barricaded himself in Kalihi. It started at around 4 yesterday afternoon. That's when the 36-year-old locked himself in a home on Leilani Street. It ended peacefully about 2 hours later when the man surrendered. No injuries were reported. H&N investigates a payout demand from Honolulu's outgoing police chief. Our chief investigative reporter Lynn Kawano has exclusive details on what Joe Logan is asking for.
Chief Joe Logan sent a demand letter to the city 2 weeks ago seeking a payout for how his departure was handled. HPD's chief is not going out without a fight. Arthur Joe Logan has hired well-known civil rights and employment attorney Joseph Rosenbaum to take on the city. Logan claims he was forced out by Mayor Rick Blangiardi after 3 years at the helm. In his retirement statement on June 2nd, Logan said, "It is with a heavy heart, and to avoid distracting from the HPD's important work, I will be retiring at the end of this month." That day, the mayor said it was Logan's decision after multiple pointed meetings.
We had to get to a place where we both agreed that this was the best thing for the department going forward.
But weeks later, Logan's attorney sent a demand letter to the city asking for payment for the last 2 years of his 5-year term to avoid a lawsuit. Logan makes about $230,000 a year.
Very often, a lawyer will send a demand letter in order to trigger negotiations or ask the defendant to enter into negotiations so that we can avoid a lawsuit. It is very helpful for meritorious claims because then we can settle without having to force the parties to litigate, which is extremely stressful on all parties.
Attorney Megan Cowell says it is puzzling that Logan started this process while still on the job. He originally said he would retire on June 30th, but that date is now July 31st.
Nobody can force you to retire. Nobody has the authority or the jurisdiction to force a chief of police to retire.
Logan's tenure at the top of HPD has had controversies, especially recently because of officer shortages. When he started in 2022, there were 348 sworn vacancies. When he announced his retirement, that number was 457, more than 31% higher. Logan was criticized for returning about $50 million to the city, money that could have gone to officer retention or hiring programs. I did ask the city and the mayor's office for a copy of the demand letter and their response to Logan's legal team. They denied the request. I'm Lynn Kawano, Hawaii News Now.
Thank you, Lynn. Former Kahuku head football coach Sterling Carvalho is suing the State Department of Education and a father and son. He is claiming defamation and breach of contract after he was dismissed back in April. His lawsuit says he met with the team captain, Manoa Hallams, alone to talk about his playing time. Alone, he says, to avoid pressuring or embarrassing him. But Carvalho says Manoa made inaccurate and false claims about that meeting. He says at no time did he threaten Manoa or his father, Kalani Hallams, and he did not create a hostile environment, as Hallams claimed on social media.
He's complaining in terminology that is somewhat abusive about the fact that his son is not getting enough playing time, apparently is not providing or being allowed to provide input into the team in a way that this parent thinks he should. And this parent apparently did the same kind of things with another son who was at St. Louis and this same child who was at Mililani. And he's a serial abuser. And it's really not something that the DOE should allow, let alone fire a coach over.
The lawsuit seeks unspecified damages. Attorney Eric Seitz says Carvalho regrets meeting with the student alone. He still works for the DOE teaching math at a charter school. We reached out to the DOE, which said it cannot comment on pending or active litigation. The parent also had no comment. Lance Bermudez has been sentenced to 30 years in federal prison for his role as an enforcer for crime boss Mike Miskey. In 2022, he pleaded guilty to racketeering, drug distribution, and robbery in exchange for his testimony against Miskey. But prosecutors never called Bermudez to the stand. Miskey was convicted but died of a fentanyl overdose last year ahead of his sentencing. The court recommended that Bermudez serve his sentence in Texas. A comic caper on Oahu. Someone made off with a collection of classic comic book art worth thousands of dollars. The owner says about 160 of these iconic images, including drawings of Batman, Captain America, and Superman, were taken. He realized the images were stolen after his friends saw this one Spider-Man posted on eBay. The pictures were in his locker at public storage on Waialae Avenue. You can see the culprit appeared to have pried open the unit's wire roof to break in. The collector did not want to specify exactly how much the art is worth, but to him, they were priceless.
It was crushing to me. You know, a lot of these things are very personal. They're associated with events in my life or friends or things that are important to me. Some stuff I got from family or like my grandfather, so it's very sentimental.
The collector suspects another renter or an employee could be responsible because the facility's elevator requires a code. Police and public storage have not responded to our requests for information. Hawaii Island residents, take a look at your screen. Your help is needed in finding this man who was just reported missing. Brian McGowan was last seen near Waianuenue Avenue in Hilo last Thursday wearing a red shirt and red pants. We're told he may need medical help. The 30-year-old is about 6 feet tall, 165 pounds, with brown hair and hazel eyes. Call Hawaii Police at the number on your screen if you spot him. Well, parts of the Northeast are drying out after deadly flash flooding. Record-breaking torrential rain inundated the New York City area Monday night, pouring into subways, submerging roadways, and leaving drivers stranded. Jared Hill has the latest.
Commuters along parts of the East Coast are still dealing with remnants of Monday's super soaker.
Everything is flooded here and there. I've never seen it this flooded in my life, and I grew up here.
Video shows storm water turning roads into rivers in New Jersey. trapping drivers.
Maybe within like 15, 20 minutes, it went from maybe just a little stream of water and then it just started flooding over.
The dangerous system dumped more than half a foot of rain in Scotch Plains. 2 people in the town of Plainfield died after their car was swept away in floodwaters.
This clearly was a significant weather event.
New Jersey Governor Phil Murphy surveyed damage in Berkeley Heights after declaring a state of emergency.
It doesn't feel, as I stand here now, as though tonight, tomorrow, Thursday will be in the same level of intensity that we saw last night, but you never say never.
Some major roadways just north of New York City are still closed after they were submerged underwater. Downpours in New York City swept through streets and gushed onto subway platforms and train tracks, causing a mess for passengers.
It's horrible. Whenever it rains, it's bad. It is super frustrating. Like, people just want to go home.
Service is now running somewhat normal after Mother Nature brought the nation's largest mass transit system to a grinding halt. Jared Hill, CBS News, New York.
And happy Tuesday, everybody. Let's take a quick look at our first alert radar and satellite. Of course, we saw some showers earlier this morning, but we're starting to see it dry out there. We also have this high pressure system off to the northeast. This is really locked in place, and it's going to be there for a long while, really into next week, causing these breezy trades to stick around. A quick look at our hour-by-hour forecast. 87 degrees outside, so very toasty. We're going to continue to warm up a few degrees as we're going further into the afternoon. East-northeasterlies around 17 miles per hour, and expanding this out throughout the afternoon. We get a lot of sunshine throughout the middle of this week, around 89 by the time we get to 2 p.m., and then not as much cloud cover overnight. I'll give you a full breakdown of what you can expect throughout the rest of this week coming up.
Inflation hit its highest level since February. I'm Kelly O'Grady with what's pushing up prices.
On This Is Now, a new sightseeing tour in Waikiki uses virtual reality to experience Hawaii's natural wonders in a new way. Casey Lund shows us in 2 minutes. Welcome back. Inflation rose in June to its highest level since February as the initial effects of tariffs weigh on consumer prices. Kelly O'Grady reports from the New York Stock Exchange.
Inflation is moving in the wrong direction. Consumer prices rose 0.3% on the month in June, up 2.7% from a year ago. That's the highest level in 4 months. The pressure pointing to one thing in particular.
I think we're starting to see the impact of tariffs creep into this report.
Prices were up for clothing, furniture, and toys, all tariff-sensitive items. And dining out, up 4% at full-service sit-down restaurants.
I think that people have a legitimate gripe in that there are big categories that see high prices, whether it's your cost of housing, the cost of your car, the cost of insurance, the cost of going to a doctor. These are still areas that are really putting pressure on the households of America.
A real jolt in the CPI report, the price of coffee, up more than 13% from this time last year. Brian Jocelyn owns Mountain Phoenix Coffee Roastery in Salida, Colorado. He says he's managed to remain competitive despite raising prices 3 times over the past year. But a combination of inclement weather and steeper tariffs, like the 50% threat against Brazil, could sour the brew.
Brazil has been known for years for essentially setting the pricing for the entire industry for the rest of the year.
We are well positioned to wait to learn more.
Tuesday's report supports the Federal Reserve's wait-and-see approach on interest rates, with the central bank unlikely to budge at its July meeting.
Investors are looking beyond the tariffs, anticipating that the administration will back down from the threat of steeper import taxes and keep the current levels in place. At the New York Stock Exchange, Kelly O'Grady, CBS News.
A new attraction in Waikiki called Explore Ride involves a zero-emission bus with a headset-powered twist. It's said to be a virtual journey through Hawaii's land, sea, and culture. Casey Lund takes us along for the ride.
Hey, check this out. Isn't this awesome? Aloha from Explore Ride, Waikiki. Well, we've shown you on board the bus. I want to come out and talk to my friends again because, essentially it's a very nice bus. It's emissions-free, electric, all-electric bus. Very comfortable, as you saw. I was almost falling asleep in there. But a really unique experience. We've been talking about XR, extended reality, right? A mixture between augmented reality and virtual reality where you put the headset on, you still see outside, you still see Leahi, Diamond Head, you still see all these beautiful landmarks, the scenery, but then they have added elements, all these cool visuals that come in, and it really is cool. I got to experience it myself. I want to talk to Yuki again. Tell me a little bit about what you have going on here to raise a little awareness and help with the reefs as well. Tell me about this race.
Okay, we really will have a charity run 5K on October 12th, and
yeah, today's the last day to sign up for this early bird rate. By the way, July 15th, $30, so $10 off your entry fee. Those contributions, the entry fees, it all goes to the Waikiki Aquarium. So this is a fun 5K, October 12th, and you're helping out the reef. Really quickly, that is the whole mission here, to educate not just visitors, but locals alike, and really Malama, Hawaii.
Exactly. That's what we're all about. We would like to show our respect to the community and our environment, and we like everyone who participates to follow along as well.
Yeah, and I just want one last time before we go, you can tell me the visuals that you experienced, the XR. This is a really cool thing, right?
Yes, this is really new activities in Hawaii, and by joining this event, you will get a special coupon that let you join our extra tour for just $10.
That's right. So you get a little deal too. If you sign up for the race, you get a little deal for actually experiencing this yourself. So very cool. And I got to tell you, I'm not skeptical, but I was like, oh, how cool could it be? I got to ride this today. It was a lot of fun, really seeing everything, but with all these added visuals and the trip around Diamond Head, a very unique experience here in Waikiki. We'll send things back into the studio for now.
Looks like a lot of fun, Casey. Stick around. Coming up after the break, you've got your first alert full forecast. We've got some trade winds and mostly sunny conditions. The details coming right up.
First Alert Weather with Drew Davis.
All right, well, happy Tuesday, everybody. We've got a very summer-like pattern out there across the island chain going forward. A lot of sunshine out there, moderate trade winds, breezy throughout each afternoon, and some windward clouds and showers, but less of a chance for showers as we're going forward over the next several days. So again, let's take a look at our First Alert Weather headlines and what we've got out there. Mahalo to Bob for sending in this photo of the clouds over near Kona. Here's a quick look at what we've got in store outside. This, of course, is our Pacific weather pattern. We've got moderate trades thanks to this high pressure system off to the northeast, and that's really going to be locked in place over the next couple of days. Wind gusts getting closer to 20 miles per hour, especially during the afternoon hours. You can see in our First Alert Futurecast going forward as we're going into this afternoon, mostly dry out there. A few passing showers possible over Kauai, but those will be mostly windward and Mauka locations. Overnight, not as much rainfall expected as we had last night, and then 6 a.m. Wednesday morning, very similar story. We're going to continue to see those light sprinkles, maybe if you're driving from the windward side of the island towards town, and a little bit more cloud cover expected as we're going into Thursday and Friday. Here's our island by island forecast. Again, this is for tomorrow. This is for Wednesday. Spotty morning showers possible over the windward portions of Kauai, and then of course a lot of sunshine over the leeward portions here on Oahu. 88 in town for a high temperature tomorrow, 83 in Kaneohe. A little bit breezy out there at times. We'll be seeing wind gusts getting closer to 25 miles per hour and above. Maui County will be mostly sunny and breezy out there. Wind gusts again closer to 25 miles per hour and above. Toasty out there, 87 in Kahului and 89 in Kihei. Over in Kailua Kona, around 87, 88 in Waikoloa, and spotty evening showers expected with calm westerly winds, allowing for those pop-up afternoon showers. 85 in Hilo, isolated showers and mostly sunny conditions, and the northern portions of Hawaii Island will be seeing stronger winds and mostly sunny conditions. A quick look at our surf and shoreline forecast. West and south-facing shores 2 to 4 feet, south-facing shores around 3 to 5, east-facing shores choppy out there because of the breezy trades, and of course it's the summertime, small on north-facing shores. You can see in our First Alert Windcast, very copy and paste conditions going forward. This is Wednesday afternoon between 15 to 25 miles per hour. Again, a very similar story also expected for Thursday between 15 to 20 miles per hour. Let's break down our 7-day forecast. Mahalo to Greg for sending in this background photo. Again, a lot of sunshine out there, breezy and sunny, not as much of a chance for rainfall over the next couple of days. If we do see some showers, very short-lived, very isolated, a little bit more cloud cover as we're going into the weekend and beyond. We'll be seeing temperatures in the upper 80s and potentially 90 degrees.
Thanks, Drew. Still to come, the nominations are out for the 77th Annual Primetime Emmy Awards. We'll tell you what series got the most nods for television's top honor in 2 minutes.
some good news now. Step aside, K9 police dogs. There's a new officer on the force. Meet Bowser the Tortoise. He's now a part of Sierra Vista, Arizona's police department. Bowser was found wandering the streets last year, and when no one claimed him, the police department decided to adopt him.
Aww.
The police chief says he encourages officers to take a break, and that feeding Bowser has become a moment of tranquility for the officers. Bowser even has his own badge.
Very cool. Well, Chipotle is bringing back its lip stain. Do you know how lip stains work?
No.
Okay, I'm going to explain it. So it's sold out not long after last summer's release. So it's an avocado-inspired stain that dries into a metallic green foil tint. After letting it dry and spraying it with an activator, you then peel the top layer off to reveal a nude rose shade underneath. This is the second year Chipotle has collaborated with cosmetics brand Wonder Skin to release the product. It's available for $29, which seems like a lot, exclusively at wonderskin.com starting Tuesday.
Thank you for that illuminating lesson, Ashley.
Now you know.
I learned a lot today.
Well, nominations for the 77th Primetime Emmy Awards were announced today in Los Angeles.
And the Apple TV Plus series Severance led the pack. The satire depicting a dystopian workplace snapped up 27 nominations.
Wow.
For Best Drama Series, Severance will go up against Andor, which is really good, Paradise, Slow Horses, The Diplomat, The Pit, The Last of Us, and The White Lotus. In the comedy category, The Studio led with 23 Emmy nods. Also in the running for Best Comedy are Hacks, The Bear, Only Murders in the Building, Abbott Elementary, Nobody Wants Us, and What We Do in the Shadows, and Shrinking. The Emmys will air on September 14th on CBS and Paramount Plus, and comedian Nate Bargatze is set to host. He's hilarious. All these shows, a ton of good TV
All
recently.
very good.
Yeah.
All had a lot of nominations. White Lotus had a ton.
Yes, yes. I'm excited to see how Severance does. That's very good. And Andor, if you haven't seen that.
I have not seen it. I will now. Thanks for watching, everybody. More news first at 4 right here on